Good afternoon. Welcome to the Inspiring Inking channel, both on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much if you are joining me live today. And thank you very much if you are watching the replay. Please know I answer all the comments and refer to them as we go. So do chat. That's what this whole program is called, or this live stream is called, Craft and Chat. We have maybe 20 minutes or so of chatting about all sorts of topics, and then I do some crafting. Got a bit of Christmas crafting for you later. Some quick cards to fill the gaps if you've got any Christmas card gaps. Hello, Stella. She's in Texas. I'm just looking at this screen. I am a bit wonky today. Is that a bit better? Maybe a little bit. Everything's fallen down here. There we go. Let's try that. See if that's a bit better. There we go. Oh, so Chris is saying hello from a grotty Newbury. The weather's grotty, not Newbury's grotty. Yeah, it's grotty here. And for our international friends, grotty is, well, just rubbish, really. It's cold and damp and windy and grey. Miserable weather. It's, yeah, and I am quite chilly today. Good afternoon, Roz. Hope you're doing okay. Hello, Jen. Good to see you as well. Donna's saying hello to everyone from Oz. Margaret's here. Hello. And Jan. Oh, Anne saying it's stormy in Suffolk and the waves are coming over the prom. Stay safe. Big storm out there. Judith is here and she's determined to stay for the whole session today. Good. I'm pleased that you're actually having the chance to have a little bit of time for yourself, Judith. That's good. Good afternoon, Mum. Pauline. Hello to Janet. Yeah, horrible there too. Janet, your replacement goodies have arrived with me. They'll be going in the post tomorrow. Deborah's here, chilling from chilly Alberta, Canada. Maureen's here, Donna's here, Chris is here. Yeah, take care if you go out, says Chris. Good afternoon, Scylla, and hello to Julia. Oh, yeah, it is a bit chilly. I've got my little heater on here, but I'm going to go and take it downstairs to Brian in a minute because he uses what is officially the study, which is basically a cupboard at the front of the house. It is. It's the same size as a downstairs loo, really. I mean, it's just wide enough for a desk, and it's got a cupboard in it, and a filing cabinet, and a printer. I mean, there's no room for. If we had a cat, there's no room to swing the cat. We haven't got a cat. But normally, because it's on the front of the house, it gets the sun all day. So throughout the winter, that room's really warm, so long as it's sunny. Of course, the second it's not sunny, it's cold. It's cold. So yeah. He needs the little heater, and I'll go and put the fire on downstairs. So there we go. Right, so let's have a look. Who else? Karen's here. Judith's saying, is she too late to book December craft along? I'm afraid so, Judith. 7 days too late. Yeah. Although, so it's not happening until the 30th of December. So, we've got weeks to go yet. I'm waiting on one delivery, but I'm also waiting on some back-ordered stuff. If the back-ordered stuff arrives, then potentially I might have some spare kits. So the best thing to do, Judith, is to email me, amanda@inspiringinking.com, and because me being able to find it in all of the comments is not going to be easy. And then if I have a kit, then I will let you know. Normally, I don't have extras because I order exactly what I need, but I had to order early to make sure it arrived in time. So I kind of guessed, and I guessed more rather than less. So maybe, but it's always the last day of the month. So if ever you want to do a craft along and you want to order a kit or place an order and get a craft along for free, you can. It's always the last day of the previous month. Just makes my bookings and stuff easier. Oh, Valerie, can I come for breakfast? So Valerie's in Florida, in Tampa, and she's tuning in while making French toast and bacon for breakfast. That is probably my favorite breakfast. Yeah, pancakes, bacon, French toast, bacon, lots of butter, lots of maple syrup, and it needs to be American bacon too. So I have a full English breakfast. I want back bacon, which is really scrummy. But if I'm having bacon with a sweet breakfast, so yeah, French toast, waffles, pancakes, I want crispy, streaky bacon. So yeah, I would gladly pop over and come for breakfast. Hello, Elizabeth and Sue and Candy. Hello, Candy. She's in Kentucky. Fantastic. Thank you for joining us today, Candy. So I have my peppermint tea. I have a few Stampin' Up things to talk to you about today. But first, those of you that celebrate Christmas, and I appreciate not everybody does, but those of you that celebrate Christmas and decorate for Christmas, are your decorations up? Asking for a friend. I've been trying to convince Brian for the past week that we need to get our decorations up. They're going up this weekend. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling a bit behind with the decorations. Because every night we go out for a walk round the local area, and every day there are more and more and more and more decorations up. There are lights everywhere. The electricity bills on some of these houses must be enormous. There are just so many lights. It's amazing. But we've always waited until the second weekend in December because Kimberly's, my daughter's birthday, is the 27th of November. So we like to keep her cards up for a couple of weeks because otherwise we're sort of taking them down early. So our decorations never used to go up. But obviously she doesn't live here anymore. In fact, she hasn't lived here for a very, very long time. 7 years. In fact, well, she has been back to stay for a while, but she so I could put them up early. Brian's not convinced. So let's see. So Stella, the tree is up and outside is up. Jan saying no decorations there. Deborah started, but not much and no tree yet. Margaret's doing it this weekend. Not the best night for a walk today, says Sue. Yeah, I know. I'm not sure. I haven't checked what the forecast is going later on into the evening. But if we can't go out for a walk, I don't know what we'll do. We'll have to get up early tomorrow Ah, Elizabeth's doing hers after crafting chat. Brilliant. Yeah. Oh, one solitary angel new so far. Well, obviously, as you can see behind me, I have one solitary rat. And actually, behind the rat, these are my office Christmas trees. I love these. These are really cute. They're really sparkly. I don't know if you can see them. They're kind of covered in glitter. And this one's sort of mint macaron. And that one's like a pool party silver. And then that one's like blushing bride. A pink one. So they're up, but the household decorations are not. Oh, Judith is cleaning and tidying up, ready to put the decorations up. Yeah, you see, and that's the other thing. So we've got some lights with I think there's a blog post about it. I'll see if I can find it. And Brian made me for my office downstairs. It was the old lounge diner, and we've got like little candle lights, and it's kind of like a chandelier, but it's not got sparkly bits on it. And basically, what he did was, out of perspex, he made like daisies as light fittings, or light shades, but they're completely clear perspex, so it doesn't dim the light in any way, because obviously when I'm crafting I need as much light as I can, and particularly this time of year when it's dark and miserable out there, I need as much light as we can get. So they they need to come down and all be washed, and yeah, I don't think I did that last Christmas. So they normally get done every Christmas before I hang the decorations from them. And obviously I didn't do it last year. So yes, they needed doing a lot. Ros has got her tree up, but needs to get her step stool back so she can get to the top of the wardrobe to get the mantelpiece decorations down. I know, we hide stuff, don't we? I found some Christmas presents yesterday, so I don't want to make you sad. I've done all my wrapping. I'm very excited. I haven't written a single Christmas card though yet, but I've done all my wrapping, and then I found some more Christmas presents. Does that ever happen to you? I squirrel things away throughout the year, and I thought I'd got everything out, and clearly I hadn't. So some people will be getting extra. You know, that's fine. So I'm saying I've wrapped everything because I found these. I've got to wrap those. And I've got to wrap Brian's presents as well, because obviously I can't do that when he's around. So that is my job, actually, when I finish talking to you, is to get those presents wrapped so I can squirrel those away as well. So I promised to show you my advent candle, and I'd like it to go on record that I haven't overburnt it yet. And I'm saying yet because every year I manage to forget it, and every year we end up with way too down too far. So look, can you see? On number 7, that's today. I haven't burnt it yet today. This is on my eBay bargain. I wanted something that was sturdy, that could hold the weight of the candle. And it's got a spike, so the candle can kind of go on it. It's not going to tip over, but it's huge. It's like 2 inches wide. It takes hours to burn. So it's when I finish work each day, I light it then, and then, you know, several hours later, It's burnt down. So let's see. Margaret's done that as well with presents and then forgotten where they were. Elizabeth's written all her cards and made most of them too. Fantastic. Yeah, so I've made enough cards for what I need, and I've got a big box with them all in. I just need to do the writing. Yeah, so Deborah's saying that's a great candle because she's only seen skinny ones and they burn too quick. Yeah, so it's a real toss-up, isn't it? Because the little ones, you'll see if you Google Advent candle and inspiring inking, you'll see a picture of one. Guys, was it last year? A couple of years ago? I don't know. It didn't even make the first week. I burnt it to the ground. But the fat ones just take ages to burn. So, you know, when we started doing this, we used to burn it when we were eating dinner. And so the short candle, the skinny candle was fine. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so just bear with me. Inappropriate comments on the feed. Jan's written her cards, most of them homemade and posted. Brilliant. And just got to deliver around the village. Awesome. That's really good. So, yeah, so hopefully we'll get ours finished this week. So let me catch you up with what's happening with Stamping Up. And for my international friends, obviously what I'm talking about is Stamping Up in the UK and Europe. So you may well find that things are different wherever you are in the world. So we have got a sale, well, not a sale, a free shipping day tomorrow, which is Wednesday, the 8th of December. If you are in the UK, it starts at 11 p.m. tonight and goes on till 10:50 p.m. tomorrow night. If you're in France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands, it starts at midnight because mainland Europe's an hour ahead of us. So that is tomorrow. Now, there are a couple of things to know about that as well. Firstly, the order needs to be £35 or €40 for you to qualify for the free shipping. Obviously, we've got the back order is now switched off. So items that are no longer in stock or will say currently unavailable, or things that aren't in stock right now. So for instance, cardstock or an ink pad. If it says in red, currently unavailable, you won't be able to add it to your basket and it'll come into stock at some point later. Because we've got the retiring list, some things may not show up at all. If that's the case, then please just make sure that you search with the item number. So sometimes if you put in the words, so I don't know, merriest moments, for instance, sometimes because of what you've typed, it doesn't show up properly. So if you always search with the item number, you'll always find it. And if it's gone, it should show as gone. Hi, Jenny. So do please kind of remember that. Obviously, if you've got stuff from the retiring list that you want to buy, it's your choice whether or not you wait until tomorrow. If you don't mind whether or not you get retiring stuff, then, you know, put your order in tomorrow as normal. But it's always tricky when stuff is going out of stock. So, you know, at the end of the day, free shipping is a really good deal, but equally, so is 10% or £10 off your favorite stamp set. So, you know, place your order when it makes most sense to you. The rain, I can hear it thundering. Oh dear. I can't see it. The curtains are closed, but I can hear it. And the other thing to know is that the warehouse, which our warehouse is in Germany, the warehouse has got a 2 to 3 day delay on orders at the moment. Germany has been getting a huge rise in COVID cases. And as a consequence, obviously they've got all sorts of COVID policies in place in the warehouse anyway, but obviously they're having more sickness and people self-isolating and so on. So, and because of the restrictions in place, they can't just, what they would do normally is just bring in some temporary workers, but they can't do that. So things are delayed. I've been saying for the past couple of weeks that I think Thursday this week is probably the last day before Christmas, in order to get products if you want them in time for Christmas. So, you know, at the end of the day, think about, you know, whether or not it's important to get it before Christmas or not. And if it doesn't matter, then that's fine. But obviously you've got a delay with the warehouse, but then potentially more delays with UPS and actual Christmas and so on. For those of you doing the December craft along, we chatted about that a little bit earlier. The products, some of them are here, some of them aren't. So I'll be bagging everything up and getting it out in the post to you as soon as I can. But the class isn't until the very end of the month. So we've got a bit of time, even if it has to go in the post just like the week of Christmas. So hopefully it will get to you in time for the class on the 30th. So I think that's all the Stampin' Up stuff to tell you about. So I am going to turn the camera around and do a little bit of very quick crafting, because I know at this time of year, so many of us are dashing around doing so many different things, but I can always guarantee that I've checked my Christmas card list and know how many cards I've got to have, how many cards I need to send, and then another 10 arrive on the list that weren't on the list. And I have to dash around making some quick cards. So I've come up with a couple of options for you to make some quick cards and to use up some of your scraps, because that, you know, is important. Hi, Gabrielle. Thank you very much for joining us today. So I'm going to stop that camera. Move that one. Add that camera. Ta-da. So, can you still see and hear me okay? Let me know. I'm hoping that you can still hear me and see me okay. Yeah. Yes. Thumbs up all round. New nail polish. Kind of golden, sparkly. Awesome. move my tea out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to be using Merriest Moments for the sentiments. Famous last words. I haven't got any blocks. I'll go and find one in a second. Just so you know, this is coming back. So it's going out of the catalogue now, but it'll be back in July. So you will see it again. And I'm just going to check. No. Oh, well. Oh, well. No acrylic blocks today. If you've never seen any of my lives, it is fairly normal for me to forget things. But, you know, I'll show you my nifty tip of using an ink pad as an acrylic block. Okay. If you were, was it last week, a couple of weeks ago? I talked about this punch. And it's in the autumn winter catalogue and it's staying. I don't know how I missed the fact that there was a star punch in the catalogue and I didn't have it. But I now own one. And I need some stars at the top of my Christmas tree. Right. So it's very cool. Lots of different styles of stars and sizes of stars. Okay, so I have got some basic white thick cardstock that I've cut and scored into standard sizes. So for me, this is 8 inches by 5 3/4 scored at 4. If you are elsewhere in the world, your standard sizes will be slightly different. So we are going to start with this one. So what I've got is a 6-inch piece of patterned paper. It doesn't really matter what size, but you want a bowl or a plate that is about 6 inches for this size of card. And I'm just going to draw around it. Obviously, if you've got a compass, you can use that instead. And what I'm going to do is just cut around the circle. Or if you've got some humongous dies, you could use those. Okay. And then I'm just going to fold it in half and then cut it in half. And again, you can use your trimmer if you want to. I am just use my big scissors. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in order to make it into a Christmas tree. And I will show you one I made earlier to let you see what we're actually kind of going for. So you've got a multi-layered Christmas tree. So the paper that you're using needs to be double-sided. And it needs to look nice when it's kind of layered one on top of the other. Okay, so obviously you can start out whichever way round you want to with your tree. Now, it is a little bit of trial and error with this. And I wish I could give you exact measurements. I can't, not really. You just kind of have to go with it and try. So I know that I want my tree. So if you look at this tree, I want it to be about 2/3 the height of this area. So let me use this and I'll tell you. So it's about 3.5 inches. So in order, let me bring this back in because it'll be easier. So I want it to be about 3.5 inches tall. So I'm going to put the base here at 3.5 inches. And then I'm going to just make a fold. So the point is kind of at the top. So here, so that's like 0, and that's 3.5 inches. So I know that that's where my first fold has got to be. So it's about 3.5 inches tall. And if you just lay it on the card, you'll actually see that that looks about right. You then fold it backwards and forwards. So each time you are bringing the paper over, bring that up so you can see. Over again. And then back on itself. Now, you potentially, like me, will have a little bit that's overlapping. Can you see that there? Got a little bit that's overlapping. Now, all I do is I turn it over and I just trim it off. You can see on this card, I actually tucked it underneath and I didn't like it as much. So I just trimmed it off. Now, I have stuck them down flat, but it's really not as interesting. So what you want to do is you use your dimensionals and pop the dimensionals underneath each layer, and it just lifts it enough to give it interest. But because each dimensional is kind of level, if you like, it's not going to add too much bulk. There, ooh, take that bit off. Okay. So we need to get a little bit of early espresso to make a trunk. And there's your tree. I don't know what I've done with my star. Oh, there's my star. It's so easy. Such an easy thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp my greeting. And as you know, from 30 seconds ago, I forgot my acrylic blocks. They're all downstairs. So I'm just going to use the back of an ink pad. Obviously, the downside is I can't see where I'm stamping. So the chances of this actually being straight are fairly slim. But you will get the idea. And just in case this ever happens to you, Ta-da! You will know that you can fix it. So let's have a look. I'll just assemble this. Deborah's asking how big the circle was. So the diameter of the circle is 6 inches. So it's 6 inches, and then this measurement, top to bottom, is about 3.5. Hello, Benita. Thank you for joining us. I have never had anybody from Sweden join me on one of my Craft and Chat lives. Thank you so much for popping in. So, yeah, so it's about 3.5 inches. Now, if you're working with North American size cardstock, you'll only go to your height of your card will only be 5.5 inches. So you might want to make this 3 inches just to give yourself a little bit. Hi, Michelle. Michelle is back. She's just been for her booster jab. Well done. Okay, so I'm just putting Tombow glue all over the back. And then I'm just going to position it so that the tree trunk is there. My tree is straight. I want a little dimensional. Typically, I have none. Let me just chop this down a little bit. Just put on the star because the star needs to be on a dimensional because obviously you've got the dimensionals here. So I'm also going to put a little bit of Tombow glue there. So it actually sticks to the top of the tree and the dimensional kind of props it up as well. So there you go. So let me just squash that down. Reinforce the fold. Tidy up a little bit. There we go. So there you go. There is the completed Christmas tree. So it's half a semicircle, half a circle, folded backwards and forwards. Obviously, if you want to, you could put little little gems or punched out pieces or so on. But I think this is really pretty because the patterned paper kind of does the talking. Good morning, Carol. Connecticut's in the house as well. Wow, we are reaching far and wide today. Thank you, Benita. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Margaret. Okay, so that's really cool, really quick and easy. So that's one. And then I've got another one. I don't have a sample for you, though. So I'm just going to have to tell you how to do it. And then I'll make it. So I've got some strips of patterned paper. Again, obviously, like all Stampin' Up! Paper, it's double-sided. And I have cut myself a little tree template or a triangle, whichever you want to call it. And it is, let's have a look. I'll tell you how tall it is. It is about 3 inches tall and about 2¼ inches wide. But basically, what you want to do is look on a card front and go, is that about the right size for a tree? And if the answer is yes, then that's your triangle that you want to do. Oh, Carol, you'll be able to watch the replay. But honestly, Carol, it's so easy. I just folded the circle. So you need to cut 3 triangles. You can do 5, but 3 is what you need really. And all I've done is I've taken the patterned paper and I've scored it in half. And the reason I did that was it just seemed to make it easier for cutting them. Because then I only have to cut one line and the trees are symmetrical then. So I am going to cut like that. So I've got one little tree. Let's snip that off. Ooh. Two little trees. And 3. Okay. So the reason that I've used the scored paper is because you're going to have to score them anyway to make the tree. So obviously you can stick whichever side together. I'm going to be quite traditional and have the green on the outside. I found when I first were making these, I found that if I cut the tree like this, yeah, so particularly because I'm using scraps, I can't be very frugal with it because you do have waste. If I had a bigger piece of paper and the pattern wasn't directional, you could sort of have one tree that way and then flip it round and that way. But because the fold goes to a point, what I was finding was that the point was tearing, particularly with the patterned paper. So I found it worked much better if the paper was scored already and then I cut. Carol's saying stamping up patterned paper is all so beautiful. Yes, it is. Okay, so we want 3 triangles, multi-purpose glue, or any glue of your choice, but you all know that this is my favourite. So you are just going to stick the trees together. So you're going to put glue on one triangle and you're going to stick that one there. So you've got 2 stuck together. And you're going to put glue on this triangle. Ooh. Try not to get glue all over your table. And pop that one on as well. Now do make sure that you've got plenty at the top where the pointy bit is. And try and line them up as best as you can. And then when you open it up, just make sure that all of your seams are straight, like that one, not like that one. So if you've got a little bit of an overlap, just tidy it up. The same with the bottom. If it's not quite straight, because, you know, sometimes we cut things wonky. All the time, if your name's Amanda. But there we go. Right. So look at a beautiful tree. So all we're going to do now is stamp our sentiment again. with our makeshift acrylic block. That worked as well. Hooray! I'm not advocating this as a sensible solution, really. It's just a solution for now while I'm live. So we've got our Christmas tree. We need a little trunk. Like we did before, and I've just cut that down. So let's just, see, that's going to go there. Just make sure that I stick it down in the right spot. And then just fold this back. So the back two pieces, you're going to stick those down. And I stick them down flat. I don't put dimensionals on because there's enough dimension on the front of the tree. And just put it down so it kind of looks sensible. So it doesn't look like you've got too much trunk. And kind of get try and get it, central. And then we're just going to put the star on the top. And that will be done. Oh, Cart & Co. Hello, hello. It's okay to be a bit late. You can watch the replay. I'm very grateful that you have decided to join us today. Right, so there we go. There's my second using scraps card. So there you go. 2 cards using scraps, one using a triangle and one using a circle. Let me just, going to do a bit of tidying up. This desk is dreadful. Whoa! The desk tidy is about to fall over. So, do you think you could give these a go? If you need some quick Christmas cards. Stella's saying she loves the circle tree. Right, let me just squash that down. Squash that down, see if I can get them to lie flat. Yeah, that's a bit better. There we go, and you can kind of see them a little bit better. Look, all the scrap bits of paper and the dimensionals. Brian, these dimensional backings, these hexagonal backings get everywhere. They were actually on my mother-in-law's floor the other day. Now, I had not taken any card making stuff to my mother-in-law's. We'd been to Kimberley's for her birthday. We'd popped in to see my mother-in-law and father-in-law very briefly. And on our bedroom, in there, Brian found one of these hexagonal backings. And it's like, how? And it's obviously got picked up on one of the bags or something. And they just get everywhere. But it's proving that I'd been busy working. That's my excuse. So there we go. Right, I'm just going to move that. There was a shadow on the screen there. So there we go. So very quickly, have I still got that other circle? What did I do with it? Semicircle. It floated away. I was about to say I could quickly show you again yeah, I've got it. So I know some of you joined late. So let me just very quickly show you again how I made that. Now this one is that my card blank is 5 3/4 inches tall. So it's quite tall. So I want my tree to be about 3.5 inches. So if you are working in centimeters, I want it to be about 9 centimeters tall. And my card is 14.5 centimeters. Okay, so let me just move them now. So what I do, if you just use a ruler or something, but this circle, so I've cut it in half. So it's a 6-inch circle. Again, if you work in centimeters, that's a 15 centimeter circle. And I want this to be like 9 centimeters or 3.5 inches. So I'm just making a mark there so I know where the first fold is going to be. Now, you can decide which pattern, which way around you want the pattern to go. So I've done my first fold across. And I'm basically zigzagging, folding it backwards and forwards. Now, the width of this one is narrower. Can you? Oh, I don't know whether you can see. Is narrower than the width of this one. So potentially I could have another fold, but it's not quite wide enough. So I'm just going to trim that off. You can refold it if you want to, but I will just fold it like that. And then you definitely want to put dimensional pads under each layer to pin it down. If you don't, you'll be able to see that it'll go really, really flat and it just doesn't add interest. Whereas if you've got the dimensional pads underneath it, it will add interest as it goes. So that's that one. Chris says she's off to go and find some paper in the semicircle tree to do the semicircle tree. Stella said that her husband has gone to work with dimensionals, took his coat off and dimensionals landed on the desk. Yeah, Brian has been to work covered in glitter. Bless him. One of his work colleagues said, yeah, why have you got glitter on you? Okay, so there you go. So there's the little tree. It's so cool. And it's a great way. I do get sad sometimes. We have such awesome patterned paper, and I get sad because you don't get to see both sides. So you can see both sides. So Cart & Co said that they like this tree better. Yeah, so obviously you've got more green on this one, whereas I did the pattern the other way. So they'll always all be different, which is the awesome thing about it. Okay, so I am going to love you and leave you. Remember, if you are in Europe, then you can start shopping with the free shipping offer, UK time 11 p.m, European time midnight. And you need to place a £35 or a €40 order. Please be patient with the shipping, as we know things are taking longer than normal. And I will be back here next Tuesday with another craft and chat. So I am looking forward to seeing you then. Now, don't miss it. It'll be my last one before Christmas. Although I have said this already, that on the 21st and the 28th of December, so my normal 2 p.m. slot, I will have on Facebook and on YouTube videos launching then, and you'll get to see some new products. So you do need to kind of pop in and have a look at those videos at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday. So I will see you next week. Should you wish to purchase any of the products that you've seen today, please pop over to my blog, www.inspiringinking.com. You can click the shop now button and it will take you to my online store. Take care, have a great week, and if you have got dreadful weather out there, stay safe and stay warm, and I will see you all again next week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. Goodbye.